Steven Coreno, Carolina Sports here with the one and only Joel Diaz. Man, brother, I appreciate it. I appreciate, all the help, me being able to inviting me to the gym, seeing Israil Madrimov, seeing you just working with these kids and all these dudes, man. These boys, these men and women. I've seen girls in here too. You're putting them to work, man. You're putting them to work.
That's our work ethic. We like to put in the hard work, so that when they get in that ring, they know that they have to put in some work. So the hardest part is the training. Once they get in the ring, is the happy time, the fun time. So I put them through some heavy workouts. I give them some really hard works, and I like to keep my fighters always in top shape.
No, they're definitely in shape, especially in this heat out here too, man. That's one thing one of the things kind of preparing for this interview, it got me thinking. Like I had heard you say that you feel like your guys are underestimated a lot, and I understand that. Like Tim Bradley, people weren't thinking he was going to beat Juan Manuel Marquez. Obviously you took him to victory there. Like very similar to your next big fight. I mean, Bivol, right? Like fighting the pound for pound best fighter in Canelo, and Bivol gets the victory. Now you're kind of in a similar scenario with Terence Crawford. Again, pound for pound, best fighter in the world, and you got like an underdog, but people who know that this is this is no walk in park at all.
One thing that I always notice, with time, I remember early in my career as a trainer, people's comments would annoy me, and they would bother me at times. But now it's like, hey, it's just people's opinions. I will never forget walking into the Marquez fight, with Tim Bradley. Well, first of all, Tim Bradley was always the underdog. Tim Bradley, in his whole career, he never had a fight where he was like the main guy of an event. Like, his promoters never had like an event for him. He was always the fighter coming in for the main guy, like Pacquiao, Marquez, you name it. I think the only time he fought locally was when he fought Peterson here locally, right? But other than that, we've always been underdogs, and there's nothing new to us. And like I said, everybody's opinion, has got to be respected because they're boxing fans. But, they can give an opinion, but they don't know who Israil Madrimov is. They've seen him on videos. They've seen him, some of his little fights that he has on internet or whatnot. But you've never been in the ring with Israil Madrimov. You don't know how complicated that guy is. So all I can say is this. You guys are going to be surprised. You guys are going to be surprised. I watched a lot of things. I analyzed a lot of things. When Terence Crawford, I'm not going to say he's in his prime. He's matured. He's a clean person. I admire him a lot. Actually, he's one of my top, pound for pound fighters of all times. I have a lot of respect for him. It's an honor sharing the ring with him that day. But, I have to do my job. Remember, my family has to eat. So, putting a plan for him, it's critical. But when you have a fighter that has all the tools, it's not that hard. Israel has a lot of tools similar to him. He fights lefty, righty. He's strong. And, all I think is this. We have an advantage. Israel is a young fighter, younger. He's more active. He fights lefty, righty. I just think Terence Crawford is good, but he's 37 years old. A lot of people don't think that time really affects your body. And another thing is Israel's mentality. Israel's mentality right now, he's focused on doing what he wants to do. And people don't know who Israel is, and I understand. I can't get mad or annoyed at people saying, "Oh, well, Crawford's going to win," because they don't know who Israel is, right? At one point, nobody knew who Manny Pacquiao was, right? They gave Manny Pacquiao that opportunity. From that opportunity on, everybody knew who Manny Pacquiao was. Every fighter needs that one opportunity. And once he gets it, he takes advantage of it, and then you're known. But like I said, I just think that night we're going to shock the world. They're making plans. And I repeat myself again, they're making plans with Terence Crawford and Canelo fighting in the future. I understand we all make plans, but sometimes it doesn't come out the way we planned it. I just saw Tyson Fury was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua after his last fight, and and it didn't work. You know, a lot of I've seen Anthony Joshua fighting Andy Reese. He had plans for him. A lot of things going down the drain. You know, so I just feel that we work. You know, and based on our work ethic, we're gonna do our job. You know, it's not gonna be easy for Terence Crawford. I guarantee you, it's not gonna be easy, and things are gonna get really hard in the ring for both. Remember, I had Felix Diaz in my camp for 3 weeks. He lost 20 pounds overnight to fight Terence Crawford, and he won 11 rounds with Terence Crawford. I know, that's why I have experience based on Crawford's career. I mean, Gamboa was a 126 pounder, yes. Benavides, I'm not taking credit from Terence Crawford. Crawford's a great technician, but you know what I'm based on is like, okay, when we trained Felix Diaz, he was sent to me 3 weeks before the fight, and he was weighing 160 to fight at 140. We went to New York on Thursday at 8 p.m. He was 158 to make weight Friday 140 to fight Saturday. And he won 11 rounds. I mean, this guy right here is a 154 pounder. Solid, disciplined, strong. A lot of people don't know this, you know? So a lot of things happen. A lot of things can happen that night, you know? But I just feel very comfortable myself with my fighter. Simple as that.
No, it's going to be a fantastic fight. Like I said, people who know better. Know that this fight is a real one. I wanted to ask you. I believe Terence came into camp for Tim Bradley, right? For a couple camps. So, what was kind of your first moment of looking at Terence and realizing, like, oh, this dude's special?
What made me feel how special that kid was? He only had 6 fights. He only had 6 fights. It was really early in his career, and he came to help Bradley. I think it was for the Pacquiao fights. And he was great. I mean, and he was always lefty. And one time I was just talking to him. He says, "No, coach, I'm right-handed. I fight right-handed, but, you know, I fight both." I go, "Man, you know, you fight lefty like if you were right-handed." He goes, "I just dominate both stands, you know." And I started following him from that moment on, since he had 6 fights. I didn't know who he was until he came to help us. He had 6 fights. Cameron Duncan has just signed him. And I saw the talent in him. And from that point on, sparring Tim Bradley always said, "I will never fight Terence Crawford. I will never fight Terence Crawford because he's my friend." Fuck that. It's just him, you know. It was not, I mean, in the sport of boxing, if you have to fight, you have to fight. It's a business, you know. But he says, one person I will never fight is Terence Crawford because we're friends. Respect it, you know. But he was very, very special from the beginning, you know. He was always a clean athlete, very respectful, very determined, and he gave himself into the sport 100%.
No, I always wondered about that because Tim Bradley said it right away. Like he could tell that Terence was special, and I wanted to ask you, obviously being the coach and just kind of yourself seeing like, oh, you see it right away, kind of that this dude's special.
And when I brought a kid to fight in his hometown, I think it was Carlos Adames. Yeah, it was Adames fought in Terrence's hometown. I met some people out there, and people like him, you know, because of the person he is, you know. Obviously, if people like you, it's because you're a great person. You're a great human being. And you hear from people, Terence Crawford is a great father. He's a great husband. He's a great person, you know. And I see him like that, you know. So as a fighter, I've always said it. I don't care who it is. I don't care what race you are. I mean, to me, he is the pound-for-pound fighter of this era.
No, that's what makes this fight so good, and again, you guys have victories over pound for pound best. Yeah. You know, that's what makes this all very interesting. I know Israil was a big sparring partner. Speaking of that, with Bivol, leading up to the Canelo fight. Just what are their sparring? Because obviously Bivol's kind of a big guy. You know, like Israil's a little smaller or whatever. But I mean, it's sparring. It's well, what do those like work sessions look like?
They, up to this day, they give me that feeling that we're gonna win, because I still go back when Vadim came and says, "Hey, we need sparrings." for Bivol for the Canelo fight, and we couldn't find sparring. I said, we have Israil. Israel's about Canelo's height, similar movement or whatever. Let's put him in there. And we went in there. But the thing is this, back in Uzbekistan, where they train, they spar bigger guys. I mean, over there, they don't go by your weights. I mean, they spar everybody. I mean, I've seen Israil spar Beck. Beck is a 168-pounder, And these guys are not like, oh, you're too big for me now. They don't. And when I saw Israil sparring Bivol, and I said, Bivol's not going easy on him. I mean, I know they're working, but he's not babying him. And I see some of the exchanges. I said, man, this kid's good, Israil, like with Bivol, he was, I know Bivol's power and stuff like that, but at some exchanges, Israil really, really impressed me based on the work he gave Bivol when they were sparring.
I'm sure that those sparring sessions look great.
And that's one of the things that I go back and say, man, he sparred bigger guys. I mean, he's been sparring bigger guys right now and faster guys. Lefties, righties, there are faster than Crawford. Crawford is not fast. He's just very accurate. He's a technician. So I got fast kids sparring him to keep him sharp, and he's very, very sharp right now.
I know Crawford's one of kind of the big thing about his game is that he does switch, and I know Israil kind of does that too. I haven't seen a whole lot of it more recently, but I know in some of his earlier fights he was left-handed, right-handed. He kind of disrupt people's rhythms like that too.
Israil has the same tools as Crawford. He can go all night lefty, and he's real strong. And he can go all night righty, and he's real strong. He can dominate both stands because he was raised that way. Sometimes he comes in and he spars lefty, sometimes he spars righty, but it's not going to be a problem. I know the problem getting ready for Crawford is what is he going to bring to the table that night? Is he going to be right-handed or he's going to be left-handed, And that's the thing. With us, we're ready for lefty or righty, because this guy can dominate both stands as well.
Man, I can't wait to see it. And I hear they're teaching you Russian too. I heard a lot of Russian in here today.
Well, I
didn't hear any bad words or anything.
Well, they're not teaching me. I have to learn.
Oh.
It's like I cannot have a fluent conversation with him, but I can guide him in a fight. I can tell him anything that I want to tell them in a fight based on movement, combinations, what to do, but just in the ring. Like over here, having a conversation with them, it's a little harder, but I can give them instructions from a corner in their language.
So you yell at them with Russian bad words too, or?
Sometimes.
You need to.
Sometimes if I need to, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, man, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Can't wait to see you do work. August 3rd.
Thank you guys for coming down. Hey, sometimes we need some love. I mean, nobody really gives us love in our own hometown, bro. I'm telling you. I mean, look, we've had Bivol here in India. Nobody knew. I mean, now we have Israil fighting the best fighter pound for pound. Nobody knows.
Right.
You guys know, and you guys are not from India, right?
Right.
I mean, we need some more love here, man. But you know what? I don't care about if people give us, that attention or they acknowledge us. As long as we can put in the work and keep giving the people good entertainment, good fights, that's what matters to me, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. They're going to keep coming to you because your guys are always in shape, especially in this heat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.